For a couple months now, I've been running a digital night vision scope system on my air guns. And I recently had a chance to go on a hunting trip where I met up with Dana from Mountain Sport Air Guns. We spent a couple days just playing around with the system, and today I'm going to share some of that footage and my thoughts with you. First off, we're going to cut away. I'm going to do a quick specs rundown, and then we'll come back and talk about this system. Now for some thoughts on the NV100 Plus system. We're going to work our way from the back forward. Let's talk about controls. The controls on here are nice, but they can be improved. What I found by using this out in the field is that when you had the record button in the center of all that cluster, it made it very hard when you needed to fire up and use that camera. Sometimes you're fumbling, you're hitting the IR light. Sometimes you're fumbling and all of a sudden you're messing with the magnification. It's just like anything in Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will happen. What I would like to see is them having a dedicated record button, maybe on the outside perimeter of the unit, like they have the power switch. That would go a long way to improving this system. As far as the IR light, we pushed out 400 yards. No problem at all. It was a great little system detached from the scope. I was out there just using it to spot. It worked fine. The laser on here, it's more of a novelty. If you're pesting, maybe, but if you're out there hunting hogs, if you're out there hunting coyotes, if you turned on a laser and those animals picked it up, they would be out of there. Just take that off the unit. It's going to save you money, going to save battery power. Let's talk about battery power. It uses an 18650 battery. They claim that it lasts up to 6 hours. That's the expectation. Reality is that it lasts, if you're lucky, an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Now that could be, we were up at elevation and it was around 45 degrees. We're traipsing around the woods, but I also used it here in my backyard over the course of the past month and a half. It's been in the high 70s at night and I'm still getting the same battery life with that. If you want to extend your battery life, either add 18650s to your kit, some spares, they're cheap, you can bring them along, or use a power bank plugged in. Now you have power pretty much indefinite and you can run it a very long time. Also takes a SIM card, the micro SIM cards, up to 256 gig. I found that more than enough for any sort of expedition or hunting trip that you may go on. The way that this merges to the scope, it has a lock ring and it has a quick disconnect switch on the side, and then you would just turn it about a quarter turn and then it just comes right off. I like that. That way, if we're going out, we're spotting, we don't want to bring the scope, we don't want to bring that air gun or firearm, it's no problem at all. The scope setting on here is a 3x12. On this system, I don't think that you really need a 3x12. You can almost get away with just a dedicated 4 power or 5 power. If you're looking for the best image quality, you're gonna only use it on 3, 4, or 5 power. Once I started messing around, I'm getting up to 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 12. It really distorted the image and it made it real fuzzy, and it kind of looked like those Bigfoot videos that, is it Bigfoot, is it not Bigfoot? Leave it on 3 and 4, you get a little bit sharper image, better lines, and you're going to thank me for it, trust me. The settings on the side to be able to dial in your yardage and be able to focus it, you have between 15 yards and infinity, and that seemed to work very good. If you're pesting, though, a lot of your shots are going to be 7 yards to 10 yards. I would like to see, if they're going to do this system, maybe something where you can just get in a little bit closer. Let's talk about eye relief and the length of this system. You have to pick and choose which firearm, which air gun that you were going to put this on, and the reason being is that if you have a short breech on your weapon, or you have a short Weaver or Picatinny rail, then it's going to force that scope back and you're not going to get good eye relief with this system. You need something that has a rail that you're going to be able to put it out front, then you can get that eye relief if you're using the camera on this system. If you're using just the scope, then obviously you can go a little bit shorter. So for a few $100, it gets you in the game with a night vision scope. You're able to go out hog hunting, coyote hunting, pesting, and such. Here's what I would like to see if they decide to take this system to the next level. One is to do away with the detachable camera and integrate it into the optics. If they're able to do that and keep the price point to where a working person can afford the system, they're going to take this to the next level. A few things about recording. You can record in 1080 and 720. It's 2022. It's time to eliminate recording in 720. You should be able to record in 4K, minimum 1080. Being able to record in 4K, you're going to be able to crop that image to be able to pull it up a little bit closer, and that would eliminate the need for any digital zoom on this system. But if it was able to afford it, it would take this system to the next level. Also, talking about moving that recording button, it's just too hard and you're fumbling, especially if you saw critters and you're trying to capture that moment. Most likely you're not going to capture it because you're messing around and you're hitting the wrong switch on there. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. If you want to learn more about this system, I'll leave links in the video description below. And with that, folks, it's a wrap. This is John with the Wingman 115 channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, folks.